This video is going to go through how to set up and check to see if your regular bubble sheet is set up for online entry. In order to check to see if the assessment is available for online, you can scroll through your assessment list and find your assessment, search for it by the assessment number or the name, or you can go to your assessments tab down to the print bubble sheet and get results. And when the table loads, you can look at the allow online column, and if there's a Y in the column next to the assessment that you would like to give, that means your assessment is available for online assessing. If it is not, you will go to the Assessments tab and go to the Create Edit Assessments. Once the Create Edit and Assessments pulls up, you can search for your assessment by the name or number, or you can go ahead and scroll through your list of assessments. Once you have found the assessment that you would like to give, you will go ahead and look at the Setup tab, and if you scroll down, there's a part that says Allow Student Online Entry, and you want to make sure that is selected at Yes. If you had to change that from a no to a yes, you will have to ensure that all of your tabs are completed correctly. If you are creating assessment from scratch, you will choose the blue Create Assessment button. You will select your department, the department course standards that you would like to attach to the assessment. The category is the type of assessment you're giving, so whether it's a common assessment, a rubric, retake survey, teacher assessment private, that's only you can see it, or public, so those who also teach those courses can see it. Choosing the type, so is it a growth assessment, final exam, pre-post, quiz, survey, or test. Assessment type, under the type you will choose bubble sheet only, and then in the description you will title the assessment. You will click the blue Save button and it'll bring you to a page like this, where you'll see the setup, and you will want to make sure that it is clicked as Allow Student Online Entry, Yes. In the Assign Dates tab, you will enter a date. Make sure the date is current if this is not an assessment that you have given this year. If it's a current assessment, make sure you put in the date of the current school year as well. Here in the Questions tab, this is where you are going to put in all of the questions on the assessment. For a regular bubble sheet, you can use multiple choice. So for multiple choice, you will enter in the multiple choice options. Each letter is separated by a comma. You will need to fill in the correct answer column. For in this case, A, B means that A or B is correct. You can select a single answer, so for this question, only B is correct. Or, for in this case, if we say A, B right next to each other, that means A and B are correct, and the student needs to select both to get that answer correct. Also for multiple choice, you're going to go over to the response type. For online assessments, this column will show up, and this is where you need to select what type of question you are doing. In this case, we were doing multiple choice. And then you can also select a standard to attach to that question. Another option for question is an online scored. These have a numerical value to them, so you'll put the amount of points available for those questions. In this case, this question is worth 1 point. You will need to enter in a score conversion, so if you click on that, in this case 0 is equal to 0 and 1 equals to 1. You will then go to the drop-down menu and select Online Scored, and then Online Correct Answer. This is where you will go ahead and put in the correct answers that you will be accepting for those questions. And make sure to put in all the correct answers that you will accept. So for example, if the correct answer was heart, I'm going to type in heart with a lowercase h. But if I would also accept it with a capital H, I'm going to put that in there as well so that the computer knows to check that if it's a lowercase it will be correct, and if it's an uppercase it will be correct. And if you need reminders too, there's always examples to look at up here as well. If you decide you don't want to accept an answer, you can always click the X and delete that as well. You can also assign standards to those types of questions as well. The third type of question that you can enter in is teacher scored. So these would be for your short answer, your constructed response questions. Again, a numerical value. You will enter in score conversions. You will select the response type would be teacher scored. And you do not have to enter in an online correct answer since you will be scoring these. Once you have all of your questions entered, you can go ahead and move on to the next tab. Select the correct course and term that you would like to have the assessment attached to. Reports. Reports are automatically selected. The teacher report will automatically be selected. If you would like any of the other reports, you can select those as well. And then the last tab is the Uploads tab. Here you will upload the assessment document under the Resources tab. So you'll click the blue Upload button, upload the assessment, and when it is uploaded there, and you have a check mark next to all of these tabs, you will be able to go back to the Setup tab, scroll down, and underneath Status, you will be able to release your assessment. For regular Bubblesheets, Partners for Results does not get notified, so you will have to release these types of assessments. Once you have a check mark next to all of the tabs, that means your assessment is ready to go. You can always preview the assessment by clicking the Preview Student Online button. But here I am going to show you what it's going to look like when the students log into the assessment. For a regular Bubblesheet, the students will see this as a split screen. They will see the assessment that you uploaded on one side, and then they will see the questions on the other. Students will be able to select multiple answers. They can also deselect if they choose not to select that answer. They can scroll down, and they will be able to then, for student answers, they can type in. There will be a smaller box for those. Those are the ones that are computer scored. Computer will check answers against what you typed in. And then the constructed response or teacher scored questions, they will have a larger box, and they will be able to enter their answers in here. You will then see these when you go in to score the assessment. When students are done taking the assessment, they will hit the Save and Submit Your Answers button. The assessment will be locked and they will not be able to go back into the assessment. If the assessment is all multiple choice, students will receive their scores right away. If it is teacher scored, they will see it once the teachers have scored the assessment.